Hello Vikings, today we are going to go over 10 designs that are a little more advanced than usual and are not for the faint of heart. This will be a longer video just because I will be going over these designs step by step, but don't worry, if you are not enjoying the particular design, I will be adding timestamps to the video. All that being said, let's get right into it. So for the first one, we are going to be doing the Grausten wall. This is going to be like a gate and a fence that you could put around your base. So to start off with, we'll grab the medium pillar. So you want to build your pillars 5 high, and on the fifth one, or on the fourth one, we're going to change our snapping point. And this is a little bit difficult, but you'll be able to get it. You're going to place it on the fourth one up. So we can go ahead and grab another pillar. And this one's a little difficult as well, but we're going to place this arch. And you might have to change your snapping point. And it's going to look just like that. So we can grab our tapered pillar. That's going to go right on the top. So the first half of the arch is just looking like this. So now we should be able to grab our medium arches and place them just like this. And grab your medium pillar and change your snapping point to top center. And now if you build down fast enough, you should be able to place this all the way to the ground with anything breaking. We'll have to get this fifth one in here as well. So you just have to kind of change your snapping point and play around with it. And then we can grab our tapered pillar, place that on the top, and now we have the basis of our archway here. We can grab our cage wall 2x2. So we're going to change the snapping point to top one and place it directly underneath the arch. And then this other one you can just place right next to it. So there's the archway, but now we're going to make a really cool looking fence to go along with this. So we're going to grab our Grausten wall 2x2. And I'll just do 3 on either side just to kind of show you the basically the template of how I like to build this fence. But we can come along with the small beam all the way across on both sides. And then we can grab the small pillar and we will come up on wherever you're ending, and you can go 1 above that, and then we'll grab our small arch, and then I just changed the snapping point to bottom center for these and place them just like this. Then you can come across or grab your small pillar, the vertical one, and place them in between every middle part of the horizontal beam that you can. And then we'll come across with the horizontal beam coming all the way across. And we'll grab our small arch, and on the one that is closest to the archway, or the part where you're going to be walking through, you can place one just like that. You see that looks pretty cool. We'll do the same to the other side. So the fence is looking like this so far, and just for kind of like a finishing touch on this, I like a little bit of a gothic look. So I'll go to the miscellaneous and grab our raven, and we will place it facing towards that arch that we placed, and make sure that they're even. And there we go, we have a little bit of decoration to the archway, and it looks pretty cool. You can bring this all the way around a base, and it's a pretty cool design. It does cost a lot of materials, but yeah. For this next one, we're going to be doing a wall and roof design combined. And to start off with, this is going to be a wall that would be 4 wide, and we'll just use regular wood walls, and we'll make it 2 high. We can go ahead and outline this wall with our wood pole 2 meters horizontally and vertical. And now what we'll do is we will grab our vertical Ashwood pole, and if you press shift we can free place this directly in front of our wood pole that we placed, and this is just going to add a layer of depth to our wall. And we'll go ahead and grab our Ashwood quarter wall, and we'll place that on the Ashwood beams that we placed. On either side, just like this. So now we can grab our Ashwood poles and come up on either side just to finish out that trim. And then we can place 1 meter beams just like this on either side, and we'll grab our Ashwood half walls and place these on the wood beams, and our Ashwood quarter walls and place these on the 1 meter beams. And then we'll come up with the vertical poles on the outside just to finish out our trim on the wall. So we have something looking like this. And now I'm going to grab a 45-degree Ashwood beam, actually the 26-degree Ashwood beam, and we're gonna go like that, and we'll grab our vertical 2 meter pole and then our 1 meter pole, and now we have a shape that's looking like this. So now we can go ahead and break all of these wood walls here, and we will go on the inside and grab our wood half walls, and from the inside, so the wood, not the Ashwood, we can place these wood walls coming all the way across on the top and on the bottom. And then we can grab our wood walls, and we're just going to create 2 window shapes, and then grab our Ashwood beams, and you can box this window out. And then we will, on the inside of this, of these windows, we will overlap what we just placed. So zoom all the way in to make this easier, and then get as close as you can to being right on top of the window on both sides. And for the second one, you can just come across like that, break that middle one, place these, and instead of creating a window here, I'm going to grab an Ashwood wall and place it on the insides with the inside facing out. That way we have some X's looking like this. And then I'm going to grab an Ashwood beam, place it on those corners that are intersecting. If we go to furniture, we can grab our wall lantern and attach, change your snapping point to attach, and attach it to the inside. So the lanterns are hanging down like that. And now you see there's a little gap here, so we can go to our building, grab our wood poles, and just make sure that there's trim on the outside of this part as well, just so that there's no like air gap. So now we have something looking like this. I'm going to grab a Ashwood beam and come all the way across with these, so that we have something looking like this. And then we'll do horizontals on the outside. And then we'll fill in the trim right here. And for the roof design, we're going to grab Ashwood 26-degree beams to start out with. And on the inside and the outside, you can change your snapping point to bottom. We'll do 26-degree to 45-degree to 26. And we can do this on both sides. So far we have a shape that's looking like this. Now on the inside of the wall, we're going to do regular wood, 26 degrees, and then 45 degrees. And this is just to get a base down before we start adding depth. And now you can fill in the rest of it. And we're going to fill in this top part here. And then we'll just use wood wall 1x1s to leave a little gap at the bottom, just like that. And now on the outside, we're going to use Ashwood walls. We're going to start off with the 26 degree one. Then we'll go to our 45 degree. And then we will use our inverted 26 degree to create a window shape. And then we can use our Ashwood half wall right here. And then our Ashwood vertical 2-meter pole right here. And then what we can do is put trim around the window that we created. And from the inside, we're also going to overlap and box this out the same way that we did to the windows at the bottom. And then I'm going to use an Ashwood half wall with the inside facing towards the outside. And I will grab my 26 degree beam with the snapping points at bottom, and we're going to create a little point here with a 1-meter beam sticking out directly from the middle. If we go to furniture and wall lantern, we can change our snap point to attach and have a lantern hanging down just like that. And you can do any window that you want to. I have a window tutorial on my channel that I recently posted, but to me I kind of liked this look. It looks pretty nice, but you can do any window that you want to right here. So this next one's going to be kind of a cool, say you like building fortresses and castle type deals. This is going to be like an early game kind of fortress castle wall that you can build. Do a lot with it, but we're going to start by placing wood beams, and it's going to be 3 wide. And then we'll place some stairs on top of that. And it's going to look a little goofy at first, but trust me, it looks pretty cool when you're done. But we'll grab the 26 degree wall, snap that to the stairs, and then you can trim that out on the bottom. And then after we do that, we're gonna grab our regular wall and go all the way across the bottom with that. You can trim that on the bottom. And we're gonna go too high with that. So then we have something looking like this. And now we're going to grab our wood half wall, and we're going to place that on top of there. And we can grab our 26 degree beam, and we're going to come all the way across, just like this. And then we can trim this out, basically come all the way across the bottom. And you can trim out this part too. And I like to do the wood floor first here and grab our 26 degree thatch roof, place it just like that. And before we go any further, I'll actually trim out the sides of this wall because it's kind of bugging me. Alright, there we go. And then I'm going to come across with half walls just like this, and we're gonna trim this out all the way. There we go. Wood beams here and on the back, and then we can grab our 1-meter poles, put those on top. And then I'll do 1 meter beams right here and right here. So now we have a shape looking like this. We'll grab wood walls and we'll just place those on either side. And we're gonna grab our 26-degree wood roof crosses. We're gonna do all the way across with these. You can use your snapping points to make it a little bit easier, but now we have some window shapes looking like this. And then I'm gonna come across with some wood beams. Might have to change your snapping points to help you out a little bit. We're just gonna box that out, and we'll use wood half walls right here with some trim, and come all the way across with these and use our 26-degree thatch roof across the top. Then place your wooden 1 meter beams right here. You can leave this part back open, and if this is longer, then you can like leave this open too, so we can actually walk through this and shoot bows or whatnot. But if we come back to the front, we have some decorating we can do. I kind of want to make some windows, and they're just going to be small ones, but we can break this one, and we'll use our wood half walls at the bottom here, and then our quarter walls. And we're just going to create small windows like that on either side. And we can box this out. And from the front we have something looking like this. And if you're late enough in the game where you have iron bars, I'll show you a cool design that you can do. And we'll come over here and we'll zoom in and we'll box these out just like we have been with our other windows. Just make sure that we're getting as close as possible. You see that one was a little off. So whatever helps you outline the windows as close as you can. And you can bring that one over, place it, and then from the inside we will place some caged walls. So then we're looking like this. And I kind of want a little bit more design, so we will grab from our furniture a banner of your choice. We'll place this in the middle, and then we will place some up here as well. There we go. There's kind of a cool looking outpost for early game. And yeah, like I said, you can leave this open in the back, and then whatever you're building this for, like how long this is, and if it's a square, if it's like your outpost, you can have a gate you can walk in, and then some stairs, and then you can come up here and like shoot your bow and stuff like that. This next one, we're going to be going over a pretty cool roof design, and I will just build the roof coming from the ground here. So pretend like we're building the roof on something, but we're going to start by grabbing the wood beam 45 degree. We're going to go 3 up. So there we go, and then we can grab our wood beam 2 meter, come all the way across, and we have a roof shape that is pretty standard. And right away we are going to go from the inside and basically follow the same exact design that we did. And now we can grab our Ashwood walls and like the 45 degree walls, and we're just going to place these on the inside of the roof. Now we can grab our regular Ashwood wall and fill this part in. Actually, we're gonna break these ones, and we're gonna use half walls up here and quarter walls to create a door shape. So we're going to use the Ashwood door with the arched walls to fill in this gap here. And you might have to use snapping points to get that. So now we have a shape looking roughly like this. We're going to come out with the quarter wall on either side of the door shape here. And then we can use the half wall to come across and our arched walls just like this to add a little bit of depth. And now we can trim this out with the Ashwood. And now we're going to use the Ashwood arch on either side like that. I'm going to add even a third layer here, but I'm just gonna I'll place all these real quick, and then you can break these middle two. And then we'll come up with the 45-degree beams, and this is just to hide the Ashwood corners that are sticking out. And on these top two you can break, and we will roll them out by one click, and you can change your snapping point to bottom to help you out. And then we're going to come out with a 2-meter beam in the middle there, so we kind of have a point coming out. And now for the middle here, I'm going to grab a wood floor 2x2, and this is going to act as a little walkway that you can come out on if you have like a second floor to your house, or maybe this is even a third floor. And then we can use our 1-meter poles and come all the way across like that, and use our Ashwood decorative window as a railing. Boom. So we have something looking like this. Alright, this next one is going to be kind of an early game fence and gateway that you can build for your world. And it has a pretty cool design to it. To start off with, we will grab a wood pole 2-meter. We will come 2 up. And I'm going to grab my wood beam 26-degree off the top of that one. Use a horizontal and a 26-degree coming down. Change my snapping point to top and build that coming down here, so it's basically 3 wide. And now what we're going to do is, with our wood beam 2 meters, we're going to build a spot for our snapping points. So we're going to create kind of a star shape coming across here. And I don't know if you've seen these before, but we're basically just building a wider pole. And instead of using core wood, we're going to build our own wide pole, because it just looks pretty cool. We're going to come across with these doors here. And you can kind of see where I snapped those in. The doors on the star shape, they're like on the halfway point here, and they're not inside of the beam. And we'll get rid of these here in a second. We're just creating the snapping point. So then with the wood beam 2-meter, you can kind of see how it's snapping forward, it's snapping back. We're going to go with the back one, the back snap, if that makes sense. We're going to do this all the way around. And after we do that, we can grab our wood pole 1-meter, and we're going to basically make a cross shape. And then with our 2-meter, we're going to roll it and fill in those gaps. Now we can get rid of these doors. And you can also get rid of the star shape. And before we fill this all the way up, we'll do the same to the other side. Alright, so now that we have both sides kind of completed like that, what we can do is grab our wood pole 2 meter, and we can come up, and you can change your snapping point to bottom. It might help you out a little bit, but we're basically just going to fill all of these gaps in so that we are creating a solid beam looking structure. So then the beam should look something like this. Looks pretty cool, looks pretty beefy. And we'll do the same to the other side real quick. So now that we have that done, I'm going to drop a 1 meter beam coming from either side of here. And then we can grab a wood beam 2 meter, hang it there, and then a 26 degree and go off of either side of that. And make sure that it's rolled into the beam. You can kind of see I messed that one up there. And you might have to change your snapping point a little bit. There we go. Just so that it's even, and then we can go ahead and break this top layer. And basically the reason why I placed that top layer there is so that we could place that evenly, basically. So I'm going to come across the top with 2 meter beams just like this, crossed with 2 meter beams. And it's okay if this is not completely perfect because it's going to be covered up by the roof. And then I'm going to extrude either side by 1 meter and come down with the thatch wood roof 26 degree on both sides. So there we go, that's the main part of the gate, and you can do this early game with just regular wood. And let's say you want to put a fence around this. What you can do is bring your 2 meter poles across, and let's just say that this is one part of it. We will come up by 2 meters and 1/3 meter, and then I'll come across with the 2 meter poles, place 1 meter in the middle and 2 meters across. And then I'm gonna grab my 26 degree wood beam and come across just like this. We might have to replace that. There we go, 1 meter pole. And then we can grab our 26 degree roof ridge, and you have to kind of change the snapping point a little bit, just like that. You can break that one. And there we go, you can basically make a big square with that fence on either side and come across. And this could be used as a good animal pen as well. And I think that this comes down evenly if you change your snapping point to hit these 26 degree beams. So we can come off the top here and use our wood shutters. Then you can break all this and use like wood half walls or something. And there we go, now we have like a door there so we can bring animals in here if you decide to make something like this for an animal pen. And there we go, Vikings. There is part 1 of our 10 expert designs we can build in Valheim. I will have the next part to this video out soon, and I hope you enjoyed part 1. If so, please leave a like, it really helps me out. And if there's anything you want to see, please let me know in the comments. I love seeing what you have to say about anything building in Valheim, and thank you for watching. I'm Bear of Curses, and I will see you next time.